Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're enjoying your day so far, and today we're going to talk about a couple of interesting topics, beginning with 100 Thieves and the Temp situation. These last few days, Slasher, Kenny and TJ have been teaming with Temp in their scrims in their tournaments that they have been playing, but a couple of tweets came out yesterday potentially implying the Temp is actually not going to be in that starting lineup. It's not exactly like he's been dropped. If that is the case, he could be trolling. We're going to talk about that possibility in a second here, because he was never on the team in the first place, right? He was never officially confirmed, but possibly with Drazah on their substitute bench looking very strong in the amateur side in some of these tournaments, that might be an option they are considering instead, given scrims haven't exactly been smooth sailing these first few days of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much for doing that. First of all, just to mention this, the European Challenger side has decided to still be using smokes. We've talked about GAs these last few days, and well, they've decided that smokes are actually still perfectly fine, as well, Luchi says the top 12 seeded teams have all been decided we're not going to be following the North American Gentleman's Agreement. And the reason why this is really important is because in just a few days' time there is the first Challengers Cup on December 5th through the 6th. So stay tuned for this one. I'll be keeping you guys up to date on everything that goes down if it is relevant for, well, the top level of play. So Kenny talks about this yesterday, seeing a lot of cap under these tweets about our scrims, but go ahead, a reply from Temp which has since been deleted, and we're going to be going through these in a couple of minutes. And if you guys have been watching Kenny's streams, you'll know that 100 Thieves scrims haven't exactly been smooth sailing all along, as I mentioned. And well, yeah, I mean, effectively, I imagine Temp was on something of a trial run here, where he hasn't been officially signed to the team. The question really was, in my mind, like, when are they going to confirm him? And now a few tweets coming out, potentially implying that is not going to be the case. So Kenny says, like, a lot of people misguided on how well our scrims have actually been going. People maybe look at the arguments that they hear and think that means the scrims are going terribly, whereas in reality, maybe the arguments are helping improvements and this kind of stuff. But interesting to see a team go down this route if they don't end up getting Temp, of effectively playing it with him for a couple of weeks as a trial run, I suppose, and then just not bothering to actually pick him up at the end of the day. But yeah, maybe it will still happen. So Temp tweeted this out yesterday. Gonna try this again. Who's the best Challengers AR players not on a team, or that will sketch on their burgers? Let me know if you are trying to win. Cover then hits the reply. So yeah, Temp tweets this out yesterday, since deleted, and a few replies as a result of it as well. Temp comes back in reply with the whole Batman and Robin stuff. You guys might be wondering why these are screenshots of tweets rather than the actual tweets themselves, and that's because a couple of weeks ago I made this video on the LG charity situation, and Tommy was discussing how some of the pros were straight in the voice chat lobby afterwards trying to get their $500 for playing in this charity tourney, rather than thinking about it with a more charity-minded mindset, I suppose. And anyway, as a result of that, I thought it was an interesting topic. I think you guys did as well. We certainly got some good discussion on the matter, but Temp actually blocked me on Twitter as a result of this, which I thought was pretty entertaining. So unfortunately, I have to go into incognito mode to see these tweets, but I'm still bringing it to you guys regardless. So anyway, he tweets this out in response to Karma. Then he comes out to Kenny. So Kenny says, good luck, bro. And well, the sad faces and all this kind of stuff. And Kenny and Temp, well, Kenny said a while ago on the Bricecast that he's been wanting to team with Temp for a long time. Finally, it looked like this was going to be the opportunity. Maybe that's not the case anymore. Maybe Temp's just trolling us here. The tweet, of course, has since been deleted. Maybe they've gone back on the situation. But I can certainly imagine it from Slasher's shoes as kind of the captain and the leader of this team. If you don't think scrims have been going so well, do you think Temp is the long-term option? With Drazah there sitting on the bench, who was so good on the OpTic Gaming Los Angeles team at the latter half of last season, and looking very, very good early here into Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And then you also look at the meta and thinking, okay, potentially TJ and Drazah as like the SMGs on the AK-74Us. That might be the way to go, whereas Temp could have role clashes maybe with Kenny and the other guys, especially if the roles and well, the weapon updates that we're supposedly getting in the coming days have a significant impact on what the meta looks like. So maybe Drazah would be a more versatile option in that sense. But of course, if you do well, decide not to get Temp, then who's going to be your substitute, right? If you do bring Drazah into the starting lineup, maybe you just get Temp anyway, and then, okay, decide who's actually going to be in the starting team when the season does kick off. And I imagine Temp probably wants to be in a starting roster, and I imagine if Temp doesn't necessarily have options elsewhere, then, well, this might be the best option left on his table in terms of getting on a pro league team. And Nabal comes out and says, you want me to make the return? It is time. And, yeah, Decimate, how bored are you? So kind of, well, Decimate's implying that, like, look, you're just taking the timeline for a ride here, you're just trolling, and, well, Temp's reply definitely, well, definitely hints at that matter. So Temp could certainly be trolling on this one, and a tweet from Kenny in a second kind of hints that that may be the situation as it is transpiring. So Credit City Intel says, look, what is going on here? Mason says, look, the scrims have not been in a good state right now, and, you know, guessing Temp changed his mind about 100 Thieves. Then again, like, what are his other options on the table? It's hardly like he's changing his mind on joining 100 Thieves to try and, like, join some other Pro League team, because no other Pro League teams are really looking for players, especially with the Paris Legion looking like they have at least 3 of their 4 players solidified solidified for Call of Duty League 2021. You know, Drazah come out and says, looks like Temp won't be on a pro team next season, and Merk says, look, I just think he's trying to help others out, do the Drazah thing. Ben Wilson says, look, I don't know if you watched their scrims, but Ken and Austin didn't gel at all. I actually think he's dropped. And, well, Kenny says, look, it's true, we do not gel at all. Definitely sounds tongue-in-cheek on this one. And then in some of the replies, look, no one knows the right way to play the game, so some arguments just will not come to an agreement. Gotta try out both sides and see what works best for us. So not exactly sure what this refers to. Maybe it means, you know, trying out whether with Temp, trying out with someone else. I'll take this over last year any day. So saying that, no, the practice situation they had last year with Dashy and everything wasn't the best, and Kenny's talked at length about this over the last couple of months. But yeah, now he's saying that, look, I'll take the way this team is situated, I'll take the way this team is formatted. But maybe he is saying also in this tweet that possibly Temp, you know, is no longer in the team. They are trying out Drazah or someone instead of Temp for the next couple of days, just to see how that works and how their team chemistry goes. As though, well, we're only a couple of months out really now from when the league is going to be kicking off. So yeah, certainly interesting to see, of course, Kenny on this team with Slash and then Drazah on the substitute bench. And given how good he was when he joined this team in the latter half of the Modern Warfare season, a lot of people were expecting Drazah to maybe get into the substitute, well, get into the starting lineup, sorry, and not necessarily just be a substitute. It did kind of make sense to me that, okay, maybe Kenny wants to team with Temp, and Slasher has done so in the past. A relatively decent FaZe, not really in the World War II days on Envy, but certainly in the Advanced Warfare days, I think on Denial Esports for a time. So certainly something that they have right to consider, and maybe they will still go down that route, because in theory, Temp, I suppose, is one of the most talented players that we've had in Call of Duty over the last few years. Probably top 10 player or thereabouts in the Black Ops 4 season, for example. But Drazah maybe looks like the better option at the start of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. A lot of people would say he's been teaming with Dav, Paddy, Optimum, and Pro Loot as well. They were doing pretty well in some of these online tournaments. They won this one for $2,000. You can see here as well, I mean, the latter half of the Modern Warfare season, not exactly any, you know, grand finals or victories on this OGLA team, but certainly looked a lot better once they did join the squads, that being, of course, Hollow and Drazah, in place of Dashy and Chino at the latter half of the season, but more recently as well had some pretty good success in some of these online Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War tournaments as well. And so yeah, as you can see right here, so this is the league right now as it stands, and no announcements yet from the Florida Mutineers, but looking like Sky's Awakening, Havoc and Slacked as it stands right now. Paris Legion is a question mark. I believe Scraps, Fire, and Aqua is going to be a 3, not exactly sure who the 4th is going to be right now. But Los Angeles Thieves here sitting here with 4 men on the team, and I mean, I imagine that Temp does slot into this team somewhere. I suppose the question mark is that whether their scrims over the last few days or the tournaments that they've played, they really feel like maybe Drazah is their best bet in the starting team, and they want to try that out for a little bit before maybe getting Temp back in or something, because I can't imagine that they're just going to blow Temp off in its entirety. I mean, he's scrimmed with him for a couple of weeks now, would be kind of, not necessarily disrespectful, but it might be kind of difficult to play with someone in scrims and practice with them for many a week, and now, well, it doesn't seem to be working out, and all of a sudden you just blow them off and never give them anything in return, I suppose. Maybe a substitute spot is, well, deserved in that sense, because I imagine Temp should probably end up being in the league somewhere. So I'm certainly very intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this Temp situation? Will 100 Thieves still end up picking him up into the starting team? Are they going to be trying out Drazah for the coming days, or potentially someone else? And what would you guys like to see? Do you think Temp is a good fit for the squad? Do you think Drazah is in a better position to help this team become as best as it possibly can be? Or would you pick up someone else entirely? Just to finish off with this clip from the Pharaoh, you know, the memorial event that went down yesterday. Going to be talking about this in later detail, or in more detail even later today. But yeah, pretty disgusting clip from Neptune here to finish off the job. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
One shot right here. Top A, I got sniped.
He shot me. Oh my god, dude.
I should have looked. I didn't want to be there.
I didn't know what his play was. Like, his play is to go mid cars and look top steps, like purple steps, and oh, that was an angle. Bad.
You
got this. You got this. Want me to?
One was top A. Yeah, he was top A the sniper. Top A.
Wait, was Standy the guy mid stacks?
Yeah. Standy was
mid stacks. You just reset 1v2. They know they have bomb down pro. They might not even know. Got this.
We got the bomb.
You plant A, plant on the left side of the bomb. They can see you from the right side from our spawn.
You have a trophy too. They can't smoke it.
Throw a trophy on bomb and then run.
The bomb has been planted.
Oh my god, you're disgusting. 1v1.
Degrade their last asset.
Low key, he might fuck up and blow up the trophy, and you can sound where the bomb.
Yeah, you're good. Shh.
Check. You'll sound where the bomb trophy. Shh.
To your left.
The building.
He's like above you or in here to the left? Above you, right above you.
No.
Yo, stay